Hi, my name is Jayoza. I teach, mentor, and coach people on public speaking so that they can get winning high stakes speeches, whether it's one on one, in a small group, or in front of a large audience. Today I'm going to give you an executive tip. It has to do with acquiring and leveraging human resources. Now, this sounds kind of simple, but if you are already an executive or you're on an executive track, your success of getting to the top and remaining there comes down to just one thing: acquiring resources and leveraging resources. Before I explain that, let me just give you a simple example. We all know that Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, and Mark Zuckerberg, just to name three, are filthy rich. But they're rich because they have figured this out. Yes, they got an idea and all that, but that idea alone wasn't going to make them filthy rich. They at one point figured out, how do I get the right type of people and then leverage them optimally? And that becomes a super multiplier. And that's why Bill Gates is worth like $90 billion, Jeff Bezos something like $60 billion, and Mark Zuckerberg something like $35 billion. Those are just rough numbers. Okay, so what does that have to do with when you're at work? You got to have the same type of mindset, entrepreneurial mindset. Being an entrepreneurial mindset doesn't mean that you just come up with a great product. I know so many entrepreneurs who have done that. They've gotten nowhere. And you know why? They just didn't understand how to acquire resources and how to leverage resources so it becomes a multiplier. They just were terrible at this. They just thought that, hey, I got a right, nice, sexy product. People are just going to buy it. Well, in a company, at the end, is run by people. People are everything. If you don't understand that, you shouldn't even be in business. But that means that if you're in a corporate world, you get an opportunity to really practice this before you strike it out on your own. And that means that within a company, there is a limited budget. There are limited resources that's out there. The person who gets an unfair share of their resources and how effectively they leverage it, they get to move higher and higher up the corporate ladder. It's that simple. This is nothing about who's a brown noser and things like that. No, this is all about resource acquisition and resource optimization. If you can figure those two things out, you are going to the top. And the people who don't figure that out are commonly known as worker bees. So you want to be a worker bee or you want to get to the top. If you want to get to the top, you've got to learn how to get people to work with you and also know how to leverage it efficiently. And that means you got to have some real core skills. And one of the things that I teach executives and people who are on the executive track is they got to know how to speak well, because you got to learn how to connect, inform, influence, persuade. These things are not just something you just do it once. This is something that you have to keep doing it over and over and over again. And that's why I always say that today, to be successful, you have to be a high stakes speaker. You're either going to win or lose. And if you're winning more, let's say you're in the corporate world and you're winning more, such as acquiring resource and leveraging resource, etc., you're getting to the top. It's that simple. This thing's not that difficult. People make it very difficult, but it's not. So if you're watching this and you want to become an executive, or you want to, you could be at the low end and you have aspiration to get to the top. This is how you do it. It's that simple. Let me give you a sports example to illustrate this point. Let's take New England Patriots as an example. They have no advantage in the NFL. They have a coach, an owner who hired a coach named Bill Belichick, probably a football genius. But he has no real advantage. He drafted a quarterback, Tom Brady, 8th round. That means there were so many other teams who could have picked Brady. They didn't. He picked somebody that nobody wanted. He nurtured him and he made him into one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Right? He has that. The rest of it is just how he acquires resources, players in his case, and then puts them in a system that he has developed. And every year, New England Patriots are one of the top teams. It's that simple. Bill Belichick has figured this out. He didn't just get the top notch quarterback from college, he nurtured him. So he had no advantage there. He did it on his own. He knew how to take that resource and really leverage it. And he has really nurtured Tom Brady and he made him into one of the top quarterbacks. Yet, plus he created a system and he fit right into that system perfectly. And then he gets all the supporting players, whether it's on offense or defense, he gets all the coaches. They all follow the system that he has put together, and they are a perennial winners every year. And I know because I'm a New York Jets fan, and they always beat them up. So the example I've given you when it comes to your corporate career is no different than what you see in football and what you see among some of the top entrepreneurs. It comes down to 2 to 3 things: acquiring resources, nurturing those resources, leveraging those resources. If you're getting an unfair share of resources and knowing what to do with it, you are getting to the top. And if you keep doing it, you're going to remain there and maybe move on to better things, perhaps starting your own company. Tell me what you think, and thank you for watching, and good luck.